Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Have You Seen This? We're we're gonna sit down, talk about some television, talk about a bunch of things that I literally have not watched because I've been sick for the last couple of weeks. But eh, I'll it'll be good to find out what I've missed out on and what I
Oh
should
boy.
be binging while I have the time. But first we gotta ask, how's it going, Snark and Dave?
It's going much better than it has been for you, even though I got trapped in a low rent province for like almost half a week. I was in Ontario, an extra like 3 or 4
How
days
dare you?
because it snowed. Because it snowed in wintertime in Canada, I got stuck for an extra 3 days, but it was fine. Made it back eventually. Had to fly all the way out to Calgary and then come back because of Canada,
Oof.
which is
So
always so
sorry.
great. It was always so great. I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something to cheer up young Daniel. Daniel had some dental problems this week. Might not be feeling the best, but I can cheer him up by telling him I have never had a toothache in my entire life. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. What the heck? A boo! I was hoping. I was trying to make him feel better.
I don't know that. I think it might have had the opposite intention.
Well, that's pretty rude.
Yeah, well,
Dave, how are you? You live in Ontario. Did everything shut down for you for a week and a half or so when it snowed a
did
couple centimeters?
did not shut down for me, but there was a lovely day once when I walked into work, and it was 7 degrees, and then I was in my work in a basement all day.
Hmm.
Didn't leave because we were super busy. Came
Right.
out, and my car was underneath 3 centimeters of ice. Not snow, just all ice. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it was been pretty crazy down here. You know, we love the March storms that we seem to get down here, but
Yeah,
give
that's
me a
true.
lot of time to catch up on all the TV that happened. Why does everything come out in March?
Because everyone's trapped inside because they're afraid of snowflakes.
We get it.
Actual snakes, actual snowflakes.
We get it. You're from like a province that actually has snow.
How dare you, sir? How dare
And
you?
I mean, more precisely, it's because all the 24 seasons used to have their mid-season starting about now after the holidays, and all of the mid-season shows would be premiering at the same time. So March just ends up kind of crowded.
That's fair.
It used to be a thing where the end of March was a sweeps week. I don't.
Mm,
It doesn't work. Doesn't work the same anymore. Of course, there's still regular network television in the United States, and that's what it's built for. Like sweeps is used to build advertising dollars and set the amounts and stuff going forward. Uh, but is that a thing now with all the streaming shows? Are we even the only thing we're covering? It seems like on a network broadcast is Survivor and maybe Big Brother.
yeah, like I don't think that like sweeps week or anything like that is really still a thing
Mhm.
anymore, especially since all the different streaming services kind of operate as their own independent entities and don't mind getting in each other's way. I
Sure.
think the timing may just be, maybe it's just a relic of the past where this is how we did it for years. This is how we will continue to do it until we're only staring into the bright orb in the sky to,
Wow,
I don't know. I assume
that
that's what
is
the
a lot of
future
fun.
is.
That is a lot of fun. I saw a politician do that once. Just look at the sun during a
Yeah,
solar eclipse for no reason. But what are you gonna do? It's pretty smart. I
pretty
think
smart
he's a
guy.
smart fella. Smart fella. Pretty smart fella. Uh, yeah, I remember like back in the day, the Sweeps Week were the best for the just for the late night talk shows alone. That's when all the best guests were on.
Mm.
Sweeps Week, and then there was always going to be a stupid human trick or a stupid pet trick on Letterman. You'd probably get the masturbating bear on Conan after a while.
Jesus.
It's pretty good. Triumph, the insult comic dog, the best ones, guys. I don't know what you got in Ontario. You guys got Ed the Sock. Ed the Sock was your big one, I think.
We have all the same stuff, but we have so much to talk about this week, including
Yes.
television news. Daniel,
Oh.
what's
Yeah.
happening in news?
Hit the news.
Well,
Hit the
I was
news.
scouring the news for anything interesting, which
Oh,
is again
breaking news.
as much television as there is, there's no interesting really news about it. Like I don't know. We got a couple of shows that are ending this year though, and I know a lot of them are some of Rob's favorites.
Oh,
Yeah. We have the end of what was the other one? There was Barry and Succession, and someone else mentioned a third one before the show rolled.
maybe Ted Lasso. They're not sure if they're doing another season.
Okay.
It took forever to get this one done, but I know that Ted Lasso's coming out next week.
But
I can't wait.
first we got to talk about the most important show that's ending, and that is Dr. Phil. No.
I have nothing to say about Dr. Phil.
How dare you?
I have many things to say
They'll
about
never
Dr.
end in our
Phil, but
hearts.
none of them are nice.
Oh my god, he's a real doctor, you know.
I don't think he is.
He's not.
I don't think he is. That's Dr. Oz is the one that's a real doctor.
Listen,
I should have stayed one.
Who do you think's a better doctor, me or Dr. Phil?
Dr. Mario.
What the shit?
Dr.
What?
Mario.
You guys are
Dr.
the
Dre.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he's a real doctor. I think.
Dr.
If
Pepper.
I might be
Dr.
wrong.
Pepper
but I
would be
believe
more
Dr. Dre-
qualified than Dr. Phil.
Dr. Dre is a gynecologist. I already know. A successful one. Pretty successful.
Not gonna go there. All right.
That's Soldier Boy, so it's
Yeah.
the closest
It's
I had.
close. It's pretty close.
Which of these shows are you gonna miss more, Barry or Succession?
Well, it's gonna be Barry for me, 100%. I love Barry. I especially love this last season. I thought that second last episode I've said on this show might be one of my favorite all-time episodes of television I've ever watched. Now, when we first started the show, we had Taco on. We were talking about Succession, and I liked it. It was really good. I've started watching it into its second season, but then with all the other stuff, I just haven't been able to keep up with it. But I promise you this: I'm gonna catch up on Succession before it starts, so that I can actually watch Succession with everybody else and not feel all alone and nobody like I know nothing.
That's in like 3 weeks.
God damn it! How many seasons are there? Only 2 so
3.
far. Go.
I think this is his 4th season.
No.
Um,
How many episodes each?
I
8.
think not 8, 9.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
eight to
That's
10.
okay. I can do it. Somehow.
I
I'm
gotta
just
say,
gonna have to say goodbye to my wife and family.
Yeah, it is also HBO, so it's anywhere between 46 and 67 minutes an episode.
It's consistency. It's the
Yeah.
consistency.
At least it's not Netflix, where it's like, this episode of TV is 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's like, that's a movie. Don't
I
lie
was
to
at-
me.
Disney
I was
Plus,
stuck in
we're
a-
gonna put a
yeah.
3-minute beginning credits and then a 9-minute end credits.
I can appreciate that.
I actually, when I sat down and watched Mandalorian, we'll talk about it later, but when it was like 28 minutes in and out, I was like, I needed this.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say I was at my dad's. My dad has dementia, so he can watch a few shows. He has trouble paying attention and stuff like that. And when he starts watching a show, that's all he wants to watch. So now he's on Midsummer Murders, the BBC show, Midsummer Murders. Famous because they're all individual episodes and stuff, but they're all like an hour and a half long. So if you sit down with my dad to watch TV, you're watching an hour and a half of British village murder mystery,
Oh my.
which is pretty exciting. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Whoa. What happened?
The stone
I don't
guy.
know.
The stone guy isn't gonna get it. Oh my gosh! All right,
Uh,
we're fine.
I'm on too many painkillers. That really confused me.
I was.
uh,
Daniel thought he was me for a second. It's all cool.
I'm really going to miss Barry, but
Yeah.
Barry's a show that when I'm done, I never think about it again. I really enjoy it when it's on, but then I don't know that I spend any time in my regular life thinking about Barry.
Hmm.
Succession, on the other hand, and we've only been like, I also only started watching it when Taco brought it to us, and I've fallen in love with the show. I think it's just so fantastic.
Why didn't you marry it?
My wife wouldn't allow it.
Oh my god.
Also,
Standing in the
Ontario
way
does
of true
not. Currently, Ontario does not recognize a marriage between a man and a television show.
So
as
it's
soon
not
as
like
we-
BC. It's
Not
not like
like
As
BC.
Dave knows very well, because he tried to marry Lost in the past.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You guys were engaged?
Yeah. Well, this until Trudeau got in here and just wrecked it all.
Keep the government out of our televisions and bedrooms. That's all I say.
Exactly. Anyway, but I'm curious how you guys feel about just within a month of the final season coming out, the creator of the show takes to Twitter and is like, yeah, this is the last one. Where usually I feel like we know that this is going to end much sooner in advance. Like we knew, for instance, I'm not watching it right now, but this is the last season of the CW's Flash and stuff. And I feel like we've known that for like a year. We've known
Right.
this is it. It is all ending.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of other shows, if they're not canceled out of the blue, we find out like very soon into production. It's like, yeah, this is the last one. So how do you guys feel about this like quiet finaleing your show?
Well, I'm a fan of Community.
Mhm.
And so I've had that show canceled 3 times. So it's like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Futurama.
Just believe it when you see it.
Yeah.
There's
This
always
is-
got to be somebody has to succeed somebody else.
This is not like a cancellation though. This is just them. I think this is them saying, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
And
Until the dump truck full of money comes up to their house and
Well, I think-
puts all that money there.
I believe they did say that there's a chance that, maybe we'll explore some other areas of the Succession universe, which
Ooh.
I was like, I don't care about that at all.
Unbelievable.
But I will be very excited. And I like I'm glad they told us now, because I know there must have been an impulse to wait to kind of do like what the Walking Dead comics did, where they just, out of nowhere, you read the last issue and it's like, oh, and this is the last issue.
They stopped the comic?
Yeah,
I had no
they
idea.
like 2 years ago, and like they had previews, they had fake comic covers out for like the next 3 months worth of Walking Dead stuff, and then you got to the last page, and it's like, oh, Rick, spoilers this is for Walking Dead. Oh, Rick's dead. And the comic's over. It's like, yeah, and then a little from Robert Kirkman, it's like, yeah, that is the finale of The Walking Dead. It's just they just didn't tell any of us, and
I like it.
Yeah, I like that too, but I don't know if that model would have worked
Tearing
for a
the Band-Aid.
television show.
Tear the Band-Aid off.
So I am glad that they just that they at least told us.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it either way. You know what? If it's going to end, it doesn't matter if they told me like 2 years ago. It's going to be the same episode. Who gives a shit?
I'm also glad that they're going to end on their own terms.
Yeah,
Well,
for
we'll
sure.
see.
Like, I'd much rather them finish when the network is willing to give them more seasons
Mm-hmm.
and like finish their story the way they want to than to like run it past its due either. Like,
Hashtag justice for Firefly.
as again, as great as it was to have Community renewed over and over again,
Yeah.
there was a deterioration in quality as we lost
How
some of
dare
its
you? How
integral cast
dare you?
members.
how dare you, sir?
Now,
Unbelievable.
I don't know if we want to get fully into the community of it all, but I would
Mm-hmm.
argue that season 5 is the second strongest season of Community.
You might not be wrong. I really like the last season.
I
Last season
might
was very
say
good.
like the third, but I do agree that season 5 is rather good. And like Troy's departure is the greatest joke in the entire show. When they're talking about this person on Scrubs who leaves after the first episode and is like, that bastard, after all
everything
Scrubs did
Scrubs."
for him. And then he leaves that episode. It is the funniest thing. I laugh at it all the time.
See, for me, Community season 5's final line is one of my favorite jokes, where Annie and Abed are like, "We'll definitely be back next year, won't we?" And then Abed looks right at the camera and says, "We'll definitely be back. And if we're not, it's because a meteor came and killed us all, and that's canon." It's like, you cancel us, it's because everyone's dead.
Hmm. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great show,
Next
great
news.
show. But yeah,
Next news.
it sucks that great shows end, but it's better than great shows ending poorly. So let's hope this House of the Dragon does better this time around.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Guys.
When they run out of the 1 out of 2 books that he's written, so they're gonna have to make some shit up too.
Daniel, are you going to be as upset when How I Met Your Father ends? And I can throw
will.
it to Dave. Your favorite show got canceled this year too. They're not going to do another season of Blockbuster.
Oh,
Are you-
fiddlesticks.
Are you going to be? Would you be more upset with Succession telling you beforehand this is it, or that Blockbuster told you afterwards? It's like, oh, we're not doing another thing of Blockbuster.
So, spoilers for the end of Blockbuster, a show I did watch.
Oh,
all
no.
of.
Mhm. Yeah, unbelievable.
The end of that season ends with a solar flare engulfing the world and knocking out the internet.
Mhm.
What?
So Blockbuster is now super relevant because the internet doesn't exist. I wish that really happened, so there was no record of Blockbuster ever existing.
Yep.
That's how much I dislike that show.
You're
Oh,
hoping
jeez.
the solar flare also did specific things into your memory. And so,
Dan, I feel
so
like I've
wipe
talked
it.
about this before. Have you never heard that? Yeah, Blockbuster
No.
ends with a solar flare.
And
The
also,
whole-
I've literally never seen a review of Blockbuster, so I would have no idea.
You mean you didn't watch this very show? The very show you're on?
I did,
'Cause
like-
we talked about it.
I did like
Talked
30 minutes on it, Dan. That
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like a 5-minute thing, and Rob just kept poking at me and poking at me, and I just had to keep going. What a terrible
Yes.
show!
Yeah.
What a
Oh my
terrible
god. How
show.
could he? I cannot believe you watched the whole thing.
I think
cannot
I'm
do
a
it.
worse person. You know
Oh
what
no! I agree.
The worst thing is, Dan, because this was when you were gone.
Yeah.
I only had watched 9 episodes of the 10 episodes when we did the show. I then had a break, and I went and watched the finale
Yeah.
at like 11 o'clock at night.
I swallowed the 3. So I officially said that How I Met Your Father is still the worst show we ever covered because I could only make it through the 1. I could not make it further.
I
It was gut wrenching. It was akin to torture. It was like I was being waterboarded with my eyes watching that show. He continued watching it. I think felt the same pain, but
I
he kept
did.
watching it. Masochist.
A solar flare comes at the end of that season.
But imagine if that series was also perfectly ruining jokes from a beloved series of yours at the same time. Like, all the setups are there, they're just done badly and ruined.
I'll say this: I think I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine less because of Blockbuster.
I think that's the best quote ever for that show.
This made me like Brooklyn
watching
Nine-Nine
this
less.
makes me like Brooklyn Nine-Nine less. Unbelievable. So good. I love it. That's
So
my favorite
terrible.
thing ever said on this show.
All right, so shall we move on to either Pedro Pascal or Pedro Pascal?
I'm
Oh, there's
so
pl-
upset.
We got plenty of Pedro. Which Pedro?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we moving on to?
Oh, what the fuck are you watching?
Yes.
I found that
fuck are
gift,
you
guys.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, what do you want to talk about? I feel like we only have one episode of Mando to cover.
talk-
We have,
Yeah. Well, we can only really cover the one episode of the Zombies show because that's all Daniel seems to watch.
That's true.
But we can talk about it. Let's go back. Let's go back, guys. Many moons ago,
That's
to
one track.
2 weeks ago, I guess, and then we could talk about the Left Behind episode. A fantastic episode. And for DLC, it's a DLC that actually came out 2 years after the game.
It came out, yeah, with the PS4 version of the game.
Right, when they redid it or whatever.
When they remastered it.
Yeah, they remastered it. They came out with it. It was good. I liked it. Again, for me, for a guy who plays a video game that has to deal with, I guess it's fungus zombies now. Where's the zombies? One zombie in the last 2 weeks? 3 weeks.
Rob,
Where's the zombies?
zombies are expensive.
That's true.
And also, I think
You just get a bunch of ugly dudes. Just get ugly dudes.
Yeah.
You don't even have to. You don't even have to put up too much makeup.
I think the whole point of post-apocalyptic shows
Yep.
and zombie shows is to show a mirror to us and be like, no, it's not the radioactive giant ants from space. It's not the fungus zombies.
Yes, the humans.
We are
are
the problem.
monsters. Yes,
And-
they had a show that did that. All right, they've had 2 shows.
We are the
That have
Walking Dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've done this show before. Except here's the thing: Walking Dead had a whole bunch of zombies.
And it was bad. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true. There were some that was good. But yeah, no. Let's say this: this show is miles better. I love this show. I
Yeah.
still love it. I just want more zombies. I don't want them to fight more.
See, I think
It's all cutscenes.
the zombie stuff the fact that we only get zombies like every like third episode, I think really heightens the stakes of when we see a zombie, and it stops it from just being kind of like The Walking Dead gets to a point where people are just walking next to a zombie and be like, stab, 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 stab. I just killed 17 zombies. Like every time we see a clicker or an infected, like it's still a big deal and it's scary.
But we still only seen clickers twice. Twice in 8 episodes. We've seen clickers twice.
No,
We used to have to
we've
fight
seen-
them all the time.
we've
There was
seen more.
that time when they were in Boston,
Yeah.
and the time
Pittsburgh?
at the in Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there were a lot of zombies in Colorado.
Yeah.
And like we even had the big Chungus boy. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get zombies next week. And that's
We better.
three for 6. No, 4 for 6, because we did have an infected in Left Behind.
Yeah, 1.
But
These
that-
guys, they couldn't even get away from one zombie.
They're 15-year-olds.
15-year-olds that are born ready to fight. Should have been. One
First
had a
of all,
gun.
they were drunk.
Yeah.
It was 3 a.m.
Again,
You
what
fight-
drunk 15-year-old hasn't played Call of Duty?
Or shot some random person in the head.
And to be fair, they did kill it. Like,
Eventually.
they got bit, but
Yeah.
like,
Got bit.
they got bit. But I really like, just to talk about some of the positives about the episode, I really like the whole framing of that show, or to really, we've seen how much Joel has lost throughout the first couple first half of the show, whether it was his daughter or Tess or Bill or anyone he's ever loved, and Tommy doesn't want to hang out with him anymore. Like Joel's life sucks, and we have heard anecdotally, like, yeah, Ellie's had a hard life because she's 15 and living in a zombie world. But this was the first chance we get, and I think it really helps to set up what happens in episode 8. The fact that we know how much she's had to struggle just to survive. And it's like, she is immune to the infection, but that does not mean she's had an easy life.
No.
And also, I think the two actresses, actor and actress do a fantastic job in the episode.
Oh
I
yeah, for
didn't-
sure.
I didn't
This
take
is something
down
The
Riley's name.
Last of Us has gotten down.
Mhm.
Is just boiling the show down to 2 characters at a time. They can just do 2 characters at a time so well and keep you so interested.
Yep.
Also, when you're playing the game or whatever, like I was not a huge fan of the DLC with just the 2 of them and stuff like that going around the mall, but
I think it's really cute.
yeah,
And that's what it's supposed to be.
it's fine. I like this episode of television much better than I like playing that episode of the game.
That's fair. That's fair. And my favorite part of it, we talked a little bit at pre-show, is when they put on the Halloween masks and
Yes,
just
yeah,
dicking
yeah.
around, and I'm just like, that's so great. Just you get, because the entire episode, I was like, oh, are they gonna dick around with masks? Because the entire DLC is probably like 2.5, 3 hours long tops.
Maybe, right?
I probably spent a solid 45 extra minutes just dicking around in the mask store, trying on all the different masks. Because if you hit the shoot button, Ellie made a different monster noise for every mask. Yeah, I really did appreciate. I really enjoyed that, and I think they kind of handle Riley's turn into the Firefly, being a Firefly, and Ellie being conflicted about that a lot better than they do in the game.
We're back to Firefly.
You
Wait,
can't take the sky from me.
Dan, have you not even? How far back are you on Last of Us?
Oh no, I know about the Fireflies. They're introduced in like episode 2.
Okay, I was like, Jesus, man.
Episode 1.
This is like when you guys talked about Peacemaker, and I was like, I'm just gonna listen to their reviews and then watch the finale and see if I understand what's going on. I didn't.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, really fantastic stuff, and we won't spoil it for Dan because I think it's really good. But episode 8 might be my favorite episode of the show so far.
Oh yeah, it's a really good episode. That 3rd episode. What are you gonna say about it? Like,
Yeah, well, that's
Bill
fair.
is like, yeah.
But that's almost a
but yeah.
different show. Like,
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I would say it's like that one is more of a character study. This one is more of a advancing the story and stuff like that because,
Mhm.
like again, that part of the game doesn't take very long, and Bill's kind of in it. And what's the other guy's name? Murray? Is that what's the
Frank. Murray is
Murray
the
is-
actor's
yeah.
name.
right? Yeah, he is. He hangs in there for a second.
Oof,
He's hanging
too
in there
soon.
for
Too
a couple
soon.
seconds. He's kind of hanging around for a minute. And
All
then
That's enough
then you don't
of
see it.
you.
Then you don't see it. So yeah, so I think what they built out of that story it was quite wonderful. But
Mhm.
this is this one, a lot of it is almost directly ripped from the game. A lot of it, not necessarily all of it. But I think Bella Ramsey in particular was amazing, especially at the end of the
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah,
Daniel,
they do a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's a wonderful hour of television. I would rip out my own teeth if I could only watch it again for the first time.
And I think a pretty meaty role. We were talking about this before the show. Pretty meaty role for Troy Baker, the original voice of Joel.
Right.
Where they do a lot of like, especially when he's first introduced, they do a lot of, oh, look who it is. If you know who this is. It's like, and I remember thinking, oh, that's all though that will be. And then he just kept hanging out. I was like, oh, cool.
Great.
Also, personal connection for me. So the main bad guy in episode 8, name is David. Troy Baker's character, his name was James. My name's David James.
I'm calling the police.
I was like, whoa.
Fun stuff.
But yeah, really fantastic. And I think the reason also, Rob, we haven't seen as many zombies, the
Cold.
fire effects in episode 8,
Oh, yeah.
that cost a pretty penny.
Sure. I was just gonna say because it's cold, and if they're in the ground, like the guy says, it's the ground is cold.
Well,
The
they
ground
filmed
is
in
too
Calgary,
frozen.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all real
Uh,
cold.
Yeah, zombies are smart. They want to stay where it's nice and warm and not go up to Calgary for sure. Or is this Oregon by this time? Are they in Oregon now? Pretty close.
I think
Pretty
so.
close.
This is right after. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what states are.
Yeah. Oh my god. They're close. If next week is the last episode of the season,
hmm
they got to be goddamn close.
Yeah, I think. I'm really excited to see how they wrap it up. I think there's a rumor they generally haven't released all the run times before episodes,
Right.
but there's a rumor that next week's episode is the shortest of all the episodes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the longest. I was like, oh my
No.
god, there's Stranger Things in it.
No, that's only going to be like an episode of The Mandalorian long.
Oh, okay.
So like,
Oh,
pretty
that's
sure.
good.
So I'll be interested to see if they wrap up everything in the first game.
In that short of time, maybe.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting. Daniel, you gotta go watch the goddamn episode. So we're dancing around it, and it's so good.
Will there be
Not fun.
a giraffe?
It's not fun, but it's good. Yeah. It could
Speaking
be
of other things I haven't seen, though, we've
oh
got
my god, giraffes.
Pedro Pascal's other escort quest. But first, you
A
had
word
wanted.
from our sponsors.
Exactly. Our sponsor is Dave's Love of Survivor. And you had said something about Survivor that you wanted to talk about, so.
Oh yeah, we had the premiere of Survivor 44.
44.
44. Jeff was very
Coming in,
excited.
guys. Coming in, guys.
No, you can't say that anymore.
Oh, we can't.
No, you don't
Coming
say-
in,
they don't say guys anymore.
y'all.
Just come on in. Really great. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna say really great. Really interesting premiere episode where we had a medevac
Bloodbath.
guy. Literally in the first challenge, Daniel, they have to go under an obstacle, and he just leads with his head, and then boom, slow mo. It comes up, and you just see his skull just bleeding out in slow mo.
Excellent.
It's all full of blood.
And then they're like,
Mud and blood and sand. And, ugh.
it's like, you think it's like, hey, you're gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. Like,
And then
20
they do
minutes-
everything in slow motion. Everything's in slow motion around it. It's like, oh my gosh.
20 minutes into the next into the episode, they're like, no, you're out of the game. And it turns out he had like a pretty serious concussion.
Excellent.
And had to get pulled from the game. Another guy, Daniel, was like, hey,
4
I
minutes into the game.
see a big rock. I see a big rock out on the ocean. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna climb that big rock. And you know what he did? He fell off the big rock onto the rocks.
Yeah. He's like 3 steps up. And he's like, oh, like this is going to be so smart. I'm going to climb up this big, steep, wet rock. And it's going to be no problems.
Dislocated
That was
his shoulder. Just
Yeah. And then it
sliced
pops
up his
back
foot.
in. Yeah. It
Ugh.
pops back in while he's sitting there. It's like, oh, I think I'm okay now. It popped back in. It's like, well, you're going to have to wear a sling now, you dummy.
So, and he's one of the bigger, stronger guys on their. They're lucky they have Brandon, who is a former Seahawk. Like, if not
Right.
for him, Brandon, former Seahawk, will then get heat stroke during one of the challenges, and have to sit out for the rest of it. So, pretty impressive stuff.
Okay, for Daniel, a
He's
Seahawk is a National Football League player.
Oh yes.
He plays in the National Football League.
Well, you used to.
Yeah, used to. It's a team in the NFL.
Yeah. But Rob, what did you think of the finale? I know you probably hated the tribal council.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And already with all the it's showing it's gonna be is advantages and idols again, and I'm gonna hit myself in the head with this hockey stick because it's just gonna drive me nuts. It's already driving me nuts. And I was like, why do you put this thing up there? It's oh guys, there's a key thing. We all do the things together, and we're gonna open this thing up as a key because we don't know what's in it. It's an idol and a fake idol you can give to someone that everybody in your tribe knows about. It's like ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like they did not think this one through at all.
I actually think they did think it through. The players just.
Oh boy.
I just don't think Brandon's ever seen the show before,
and that could be it.
Because I think me and my friends have always talked about the idea of just. You get to your tribe flag and there's just an idol hanging there. And it's like, someone can grab it, but that's like, you're marking yourself for death, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the idea of there's an idol, and then it also comes with a fake idol that if he hadn't announced to everyone, hey, I found the key to the birdcage, I'm going to go get the bag. Like, he probably could have faked someone out with it, and we would have gotten a great fake idol moment where Jeff tosses in fire and says, this is not a hidden immunity idol, and then everyone laughs.
Yes. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
And I would be surprised if the other tribes do it the same way. I think for sure the other tribes will not tell everyone about their idols. The other tribes seem to be the more duplicitous tribes. Like when they came back from their advantage journey, they all lied. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be exciting.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So, again, final tribal was ridiculous, and 2 people don't even get the vote, and everyone's
3
telling
people.
each other. Yeah, 3 people don't get the vote. And everyone's telling each other all their business and da 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 da. If you were Maddie, and your name hasn't been in anybody's mouth, would you think, oh, a good person to go after would be the biggest guy in our team and the guy who can probably win all kinds of advantages straight away and stuff like that, and I'm not being hunted down, so somebody else has to go, someone else has to go, who cares?
Well, I think I kind of get where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Where everyone knows Brandon has an idol.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only chance really that you could take him out without him catching wind of it, because who would vote out their biggest guy night 1?
Maddie.
Like who?
That's it.
Maddie would, and I think,
Well.
but I think I understand that, because if you don't vote him out now and say,
But she did get Saskatchewan guy to go along with it.
I think
The
she got-
Sasquatch from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, she got,
Right?
I think, everybody on the tribe to go along with it.
You
But
mean the other two people.
Yeah,
Because
I
there was
think
only
it's a
2 other ones that could vote.
well, no, I think she got everyone. I
Yeah.
don't think there was any communication. Like everyone knew Jamie was gonna play her shot in the dark, so she wasn't gonna get to vote.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think.
here's another thing. Why would somebody do that early?
I think now they haven't seen Survivor 43, but
Right.
I would say as a smaller woman on the tribe, like
Mhm.
I think 6 of the first 8 contestants to go in Survivor 43 were all the smaller women. So like I could, especially on this 6-person tribe where you're like, I'm probably the weakest player. They'll vote me out so that we can keep winning challenges.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was just like, I'm scared. And then Matt, the same thing, where it's like, my arm's in a sling.
Yeah.
Like, I am useless to them. So I'll play my shot in the dark.
I would say with the more useless you are, the further you can go in the game.
I think that's true for the merge, but like,
Yeah.
if you're like right now, you don't want to get like Matt Singh. Like, you don't want to end up like Denise, and you don't want to end up like Stephanie, where she's
You
the
don't
only
want to.
person
You don't
on
want
the
to end
tribe.
up like Denise. Why would you want everyone?
Okay,
like,
yeah,
Yeah,
Denise and
and
Malcolm were a bad choice.
I think going back to earlier that trying to vote out the big guy is like not a bad plan for the merge either, because
for the merge.
the
sure.
other tribes hate the team with like you go into such a disadvantage in the merge if you're just the team that had the big guy on the team, you know?
I would agree and disagree. I think Daniel, I think we saw it last season where Coco was the dominant tribe and all the other 2 tribes banded together and said, no, we hate them.
Yep.
So there is some knowledge in being the loser tribe with the weakest people.
And like the one we all watched together, the dude who could just like be the entire team
Oh, yes, Jonathan.
by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I agree with you. Yeah, I think everyone hated him, and he was just but he won everything, so no one could get rid of him.
Yep.
yeah.
So you got to get rid of him now. And he has an idol. So if you let him get to if you let the former professional football player get to the merge with an idol, good chance he's just gonna win out.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Like it.
Do people vote for him though? Do people think, oh, he's gonna deserve this or whatever? He
Mike
never
Holloway.
had just a physical. Yeah, there's Mike Holloway.
Mike Holloway, Fabio, Ben Driebergen, like the physical guy who wins everything, wins.
Mike
time.
Holloway never made $1 million playing a sport.
To be fair, I don't think the fact that his job is not ex-NFL player. It's security consultant. I'm like,
yeah, that's pretty.
I
good.
haven't looked into his career, but I'm like, this man played like 2 seasons.
I know what you've done. You've been looking through people's tax forms and stuff like that. You get deep. You get deep.
Yep.
Uncomfortable.
I know we're gonna talk. We only have so much time to talk about this. Is there anyone you're really liking so far, Rob?
Anybody that Jam Jam.
Oh, I love Jam Jam.
Yeah, he's the best. Jam's good. Who else? I like that Matt kid. I think he's pretty nice.
Yeah, what's up with that? There's a Matt, a Matthew, and a Maddie on this season.
I don't know. No. You can't trust anyone named Matthew.
I like
Vote them all off.
I like Matt as well, and it seems like he's gonna get into showmance with Franny. So.
Yeah. What did you think of that Carson kid? Gains 30 pounds to get on there. He was 115 pounds. And he looks big at 145.
Yeah, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I worry for his longevity in the game.
Sure.
I worry for him and Carolyn, their longevity in the game because, and this is kind of outside of the show, they both launched merch stores before the season started. And I don't think you do that if you win the show.
Is Carolyn the drug girl? The drug counselor?
The one who they started with
my gosh.
the season with a blooper?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's going to annoy me. That Jamie girl, I think she's nuts too. I think she might have a mental breakdown out there at some point. A psychotic mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, I think those people are in trouble. Those people are in trouble.
Well, Robbie says she's in trouble. That's why she played her shot in the dark.
No. I'm saying the other castmates are in trouble of her murdering them in their sleep. Like, she just looks like the kind that's just going to snap. She will snap. And absolutely, you'll have our first Survivor murder ever this year on Survivor. Book it.
Yeah. She reminds me a lot of Nora from Island of the Idols.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, another interesting thing.
Sure.
I don't know if you know this. Jeff Probst started a podcast.
I think you may have. Did you mention that to me before? Somebody may have mentioned it.
I only knew about it last week, and we did the show last week. But,
right. Okay. So yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, 62-year-old Jeff Probst has finally 44 seasons in has started an official Survivor podcast, and I listened to it, and I think I'll continue to listen to it because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But he announced that they have officially invited Bruce, who was the guy who got medevaced out of the game. They've invited him to come back and play again.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's the first.
He has to wear a helmet. He has to wear a helmet the entire time.
Yeah, season 45. Everyone's in the leather
wrap.
old school helmets.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
we're just gonna put them all in bubbles next season.
Yeah,
well, there's gonna be producers being like, "Don't climb rocks. Don't climb anything."
Yeah, ridiculous. They're just
don't play with fire.
Put it in barbed wire. Oh yeah, tell that to Scoopin. Don't take a deep breath of smoke there, buddy, over the fire.
Well, he's also a pedophile, so no one cares.
Oh, the worst. The worst.
You know, he thought when they brought him back, he is the only person who goes to the finale thinking he's won and has already spent a bunch of the money.
Oh, yeah.
And then he got blown out by Denise.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, I'm excited for this season. Rob, I'm sorry that there were already 2 new advantages introduced.
Come on, I want Survivor naked, not like naked survivors, have them fully clothed, but like no advantages, no idols, no nothing. Well, maybe an idol, maybe one idol, have
One
one idol.
So you want the first 13 seasons of Survivor?
Yeah, which were pretty good.
They were pretty
couple,
good.
There was a couple ones that weren't so great, but yeah, for the most part, pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think there are too many, but I think I like the game theory, and I like the fact that it's the ball is constantly shifting. Where if there were never idols and advantages, I don't think we get to 44 seasons.
Are they going to do the stupid phrase thing again, you think, this year?
No,
or is this lock and key thing taking the place of it?
I think it's they've changed it to the lock and key because they didn't do the phrases last season either, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember how much I hated it.
I liked
I thought they had to do it last year as well.
No, last year they had to collect beads from everybody.
Oh, that stupid thing, right? The beads. Not the beads!
Not the beads!
Not the beads!
Ah! Man,
Yeah,
why don't I have
that's
that
right.
GIF available?
Just change it to beads.
I don't even have anything close. But
that's
no,
fine.
I'm really excited for the rest of this season.
Yeah, to be fair, I really enjoyed this episode. I think I did enjoy it more than I enjoyed last season's premiere. Yeah, it was like I said, it was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath. It was all injuries. There was people fucking doing way too much work too early and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff's fun. Just too many advantages.
If I told you you have 15 minutes to do a puzzle or you have 4 hours to drag coconuts across the beach, which one will you choose? And keep in mind, the one you don't choose, Rob will have to do.
Yep.
And in this theoretical situation, Rob is also like way less physically fit than you.
Yeah. What? Yeah. What?
I mean, I assume I'm. What were the two tasks?
You can either spend 15 minutes solving a puzzle, or
Okay.
spend the next 4 hours dragging coconuts up and down the beach.
One at a time.
I'm-
Adding on.
I'm
to it.
taking the puzzle, obviously.
Yeah, obviously they
It's pretty
didn't.
obvious. Pretty obvious to take the puzzle.
Bunch of idiots. That's probably why Brandon passed out from heat stroke at the challenge. Been dragging coconuts all day.
Yeah. It all adds up, guys. It all adds up.
Yeah, I'm excited. Last thing I want to say about Survivor.
Sure.
Maybe my favorite immunity idol in a long immune.
You like
Tribe
the sword and
immunity.
shield?
I
You like
love
the sword and shield? All right.
I also loved when Jeff showed it off. He took it apart and then he went, and no one's gonna kill you in this game, and he stabbed the dirt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I really
yeah,
liked
that's
that.
what that girl's gonna use to murder those other contestants.
I also like. It's definitely not.
And
a
then
sharp
when they
sword.
try and protect themselves with a rock, she's got a shield or something like that too. She's like.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of news. Okay, before we move on, we're going to talk Mandalorian, right? Here's a bit of news and something we talked about real quick before, Dave, but considering this is reality TV corner here at this point. Big Brother Canada, no live feeds. They're going to go with little tidbits of information that they cultivate that's going to be uncensored or whatever, but still highly edited so they can hide people's racism.
So
What do you think of? I think it's
hate
ridiculous.
this.
It's ridiculous.
I
I don't
hate-
even watch the live feeds, and I hate it.
So, and I don't know why I think it's so ridiculous. Because like Survivor is just the edited parts, and I love Survivor.
Yep.
But I'm so against it for Big Brother, and they have claimed. So Arissa has come out and clarified that allegedly it's going to be more like Big Brother After Dark, where it's going to be like hours and hours every week, like somewhere from like 4 to 16 hours of footage every week,
Sure.
as opposed to the all the time that we used to get. Now, Big Brother Canada, terrible for just cutting the feeds for no reason,
Yeah.
so they can preserve stuff on their show. The reason they are citing as to why they are not going to do live feeds anymore is to protect the mental health of the contestants in the show. I think this is a reaction to what happened last season in America, where a bunch of people got together, bullied one person in the house, and then the internet all collectively said, "Oh no, all you people are terrible. We have the receipts that you're being a bully."
Here's the deal: they were terrible.
They were terrible,
people.
and we
They
had
were
the
terrible
proof.
people to be called terrible.
We had the proof because we
Yeah,
could see it on the live feeds. And then,
Guys,
you know,
whatever we're gonna do from now on, we are gonna protect the awful bullying racists.
it's like, you know who the mental health,
Unbelievable.
you know who you are protecting, whose mental health you are protecting? The Kyles of the world who were like, "Oh man, we gotta form this alliance because what if a black person gets to the end? The black person might win." It's like, that's who you're protecting. Like, imagine you're a person who's experienced bullying and racism or sexism or transphobia or whatever in the house. And then you come
Who's
out.
got your back? Who has your back?
And Big Brother also is famously terrible at protecting their contestants. Like, Survivor provides like mental health resources and therapy sessions to help you deal with like adjusting back to the real world. Big Brother famously just says, "Here's your phone, go away. We don't care about you anymore." So imagine you come out of the house after experiencing all that, and it's just nowhere. And you're like, I had all this trauma. Now the internet, rather than saying, "Yeah, we believe you, we protect, we're on your side, they're terrible, you're right to feel these things," the entire internet saying, "You know what? No. Joey was an amazing guy because that's who we saw on the show." It's like, you're protecting the bad people with this. And I can't believe for such a progressive show like Big Brother Canada that they would make this short-sighted decision. I'm very upset.
It's awful.
I will be tuning in tomorrow, though, so this is kind of all just nothing.
Yeah, he's gonna watch it 100%.
I'm obviously gonna watch it, but
yeah, it's a terrible decision. I guess we're gonna wait. I don't know. I don't know how to like where will the receipts come from? Like, we can't leave it up to the producers or whatever to say it's like this is okay. This is happening and stuff like that. Like, it has to come from somewhere. There's got to have to be some kind of watch, some independent goddamn people watching this shit,
and
just to make sure that stuff like this gets on air because it's ridiculous.
Even 3 years ago, in the season that got canceled because of COVID,
right,
there was a woman named Carol who was begging to be put up on the block and sent home because she didn't want to be there anymore. She missed her family, blah, 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 blah. And the reason, obviously, that she didn't just quit like other people have is if you quit the show, you don't get your stipend. You don't get the money for being on the show because you quit.
Gift certificate from winners.
You violated your contract. Sorry, go ahead, Dad.
Do you get the money for being removed medically?
Yes, you get it for, if it's not your choice, you
get
the money. But if you quit, you're just like, I don't want to be here anymore. That's a breach of your contract. Yeah. So she was like, vote me out so I don't she never said it, but we all could tell why. She's like, there are reasons I can't quit, blah, 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 blah. And then she had the gall. So right in the middle of all that, the season gets canceled because of COVID. Like, this was right at the start of COVID. And she has the gall then to go on Twitter and be like, actually, I probably would have won the game if the season hadn't got canceled. And I'm like, we all saw you. No, you were quitting. And she's like, no, you don't even know. The live feeds are produced too. It's like, no, they're not. Because we see them.
Yeah, they're live.
They're live feeds. And it's like, we saw you on the show being like, I want to quit. And then we saw you on the live feeds being like, I want to go home, but I can't quit. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, just say, I wanted to quit, but I also wanted my money. That's fine. Don't lie to us.
We get it. We get it.
And imagine if the live feeds weren't there. Everyone now would say, you know what? From what I've heard, Carol, pretty great player. She might have had that whole thing in the bag.
$500 from the brick is $500.
They really do not pay a lot of money for winning Big Brother Canada.
Yeah,
it's like 99 days.
A Whopper Junior.
It's like you get
it's a Dave's double or
it's
whatever.
A Dave's double. You do get Wendy's if you win the HOH comp.
Mm-hmm. Get to take someone on a Wendy's date.
I like the Wendy's dates.
Well, I like the guy's picking is like he picks like 3 hamburgers and a baked potato and then one of the Frosties or whatever. It's like, God damn it, you're a human being. How are you eating this shit?
Because they're not allowed to get the same thing that someone else got last week.
Oh.
So they have to order what they really want and then something else.
Unbelievable.
Because Wendy's wants to show the variety of their menu.
Yeah. No, that's true.
My favorite, I know we got to move on, but my favorite Wendy's encounter was in the same season, season 8 that got canceled. This guy, Chris, who was a mind bender. That was his job.
Oh, that friggin' guy. Okay, yeah.
He won HOH, and a woman gave her food, and she was like, Chris, yay! And he was like, what? Oh, it's my mom.
Yeah. He's a mind bender.
Like, Daniel, legitimately, as close as you are to your computer right now, that's as far as away as he was from his mother. And he did not recognize her because she was wearing a Wendy's
his own
uniform.
mother. Yeah. When I become a spy, I'm ditching all the get-ups. I'm just going to wear Wendy's uniforms everywhere.
It's apparently the best camouflage.
You're a modern-day ninja. You're hiding in plain
That is
sight.
an indictment on society and how we think of service people, but still.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, and it wasn't even like he actually came to that. She had to like be like, Chris, hey, it's me.
Yeah, he was about to mace her. He's like, get away from me! It's my mother.
In the past, it had been like past contestants. So like maybe he just wasn't a fan of the show. Was like, oh, I don't know who this is, but I'm gonna act excited. But it was his mother. I don't see my mother a lot, but I feel like I could recognize her if she was 2 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
The beauty of Wendy's.
All right.
One more
Yoda's?
space show. One more space show. So Daniel, you have not watched the space show.
No, I'm, somewhere in episode 2, I believe.
well, there's only
Of the
one
very
episode.
first season.
Oh, no, I meant of the first season.
Of the very first season. Yeah.
Like, episode 2 of the series.
Is Baby Yoda, is Grogu even in that?
I
He's at the
have
very
no
end
idea.
of the first one. He's at the very end of the first one.
Wait, you watched Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Daniel. Which I don't know how I feel about this. Just before we
Listen.
talk about the show.
You be careful with how you talk to him, because you son of a bitch. I tried to get you to watch Andor every week.
I
tried to get you to
watched it
after the show was over.
I was busy. My wife got pregnant. We went to Disneyland.
What a bragger! What a bragger!
Look, I built a droid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They really expected you. If you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett,
Right.
you would be so confused by this episode.
Yeah.
Because Daniel, season 2 ends, and Mandalorian's like, "Oh, here you go, Luke Skywalker. Take Baby Yoda.
High five.
Yeah.
Peace out, dog."
It's like take off a mask and go.
And then
then
season 3 starts, and they're just
He's just
together
got
flying
Baby
around the
Yoda.
cosmos.
Yeah.
I was like, imagine if you were like, I know people. I haven't checked in with anyone yet, but I know people who didn't watch did not watch Book of Boba Fett,
Lucky.
but love the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be so confused when they're like, "Wait,
What if?
why does he have him back?"
Yeah. What if you just started watching Mandalorian
Dan,
and
we've
you're
spoiled.
binging through it? You're not
Yeah.
gonna think of watching Boba Fett at all. You're
You would
just
have
gonna.
to. You'd have to watch the post-credit scene of season 2 of Mandalorian, which none of these have post-credit scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But to say, and it's more of like an announcement for like, oh, Book of Boba Fett coming. And
Here we go.
obviously, we blame The Last of Us for this confusion because that's the only
That's
reason Book of Boba Fett exists. But it's so confusing to have him back. I get it because I watched all the shows, but so crazy.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild.
They
Anything that makes
resolved a
me forget.
main plot point in a different show.
Yes.
Imagine if you're watching Buffy and then just randomly
Careful.
in the middle of an episode, it's like, oh, you had to watch Angel to figure out what's happening now.
Didn't they have it? Didn't they
That
have it in
didn't
the-
not happen on occasion.
Wait a minute. Hold on a
And like,
second.
I understand. I
You
was
didn't
a
have
big
to watch a whole season. You didn't have to watch a
Yeah,
whole season
like,
of Angel.
I was a big CW like Arrowverse guy,
Oh.
and like that had specific like this week everything is
Yeah.
connected.
And those, like, they at least had the, like you didn't have to watch all of the shows. If
No.
you watched 2 or more of them, you understood everything going on.
I saw the Supergirl one, and I saw a Flash one, I think.
I think you would like Arrow, Rob.
Yeah, no. Well, to be fair, I did like it. I think I saw the first season of Arrow, and then I didn't see. I was working and stuff like that, so I went to the second season without seeing it, and then that's the whole thing about catching up. It's like,
It's all on
there's
Prime.
so much I can watch new stuff.
What, you mean you
Yeah.
don't just randomly in the middle of the busiest time of the year say, you know what, I'm gonna start watching The Rookie?
At least it's still going.
Oh, is it really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
still
damn it! I thought I was watching it. Okay, but anyway, Book of Boba
Yep.
Fett, or not
Yep.
Book of Boba Fett, Book of Mandalorian Fett.
Book of
Book of
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
The Book of Mando. First episode thoughts. I liked it. I thought it was fine.
I liked it a lot. I love. I didn't realize until I went on Twitter that in between the end of season 2 and now it's been 2 years. So like
Oh,
that's
really?
why. Yeah, apparently like Grogu was with Luke for 2 years.
Oh.
It's like it did not seem that long. This he's got to be talking.
Matter of weeks, I thought.
That's what I felt like. But
Yeah.
yeah 2 years. But a really fantastic. Not fantastic, but I think a slower episode. Which because I think a lot of this was for people who didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. Here's the things you need to remember, but I also don't think it did a great job of that.
No, not really. They did the IG-88 guy or whatever right at the beginning and stuff like that. Show him
Yes.
going into the molten lava,
Mhm.
and then them saying, "Oh, here's your buddy. Here's mostly the stuff from him and stuff like that." It's like, okay, so couple of things to you guys. The molten lava did not just melt this poor robot. B, it's basically you're just displaying his corpse in the middle of the town square.
He's a robot. Like, is it a core? It's not the same. He's a robot.
He's a dead person in there. So they get you try to get him working, and he comes and tries to zombie kill the Yoda.
And yeah,
So it's like Pedro Pascal definitely has a type now. He has a type. He protects kids against things that come back to life.
well, I also like that Carl Weathers is like, you want this droid back? Like, he's in pieces, and he's like, I like
And
this droid.
how much was he like Chubb this week from fucking Happy Gilmore? I
It
loved
was
it.
so good. I loved Daniel. He has like big regal flowing cape, and there's little droids on wheels
Little roller
carrying
droids.
the end of his cape.
It's awesome. It's
And there's a
awesome.
great. He comes down the stairs and you hear clink, 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 and then they start walking back towards the stairs. And my wife looks at me and is like, "How are they gonna get back up the stairs?" And then they just fade away because there's no way those guys were getting back up.
It's a
the
roller
stairs.
ball. It'll go up. You can
No,
you
it
can get a bicycle up. They're just holding on to the cape. So the
You know
cape-
what? They probably do have. They probably have like little.
It's like a
rocket
wheeler,
boosters.
like a wheeler, like a wheeler,
I
like
don't
a
know,
dolly,
man.
a dolly. They're like little dollies, little motorized dollies
I
that carry a cape.
what I did.
I gotta
love,
tell you this.
Yep.
I have not purchased a Star Wars action figure since Return of the Jedi or whatever when I was like 8 or 9 years old, whatever it was, 9 years old. That's the last time I got a Star Wars action figure that I bought. I will 100% buy that action figure if it comes with the 2 goddamn cape droids. 100% I will.
I also.
I'll put it
haven't
right
bought-
over here. Which one? Right over here by the poop guy.
I also haven't bought any Star Wars stuff in a long
How freaking
Yeah.
dare you?
That's all my. I don't
Liar.
got holocrons and droids. And
Did I ever show you this thing? My mother, again, I grew up in the 70s and Star Wars is everything. My mother will keep giving me Star Wars things. Once in a while, she'll be on like Kijiji and stuff like that. I say, "Oh, Star Wars, little Robbie still
Little
loves
Robbie.
Star Wars." She gave me this thing. I don't know what it is, but it's like a Millennium Falcon. But it's like with stub nose, and it's supposed to have like little toilet, but it has like guns that shoot and stuff like
Oh.
that. That's all I know.
That's fun. That looks
There
like
you go. I'm a Star Wars guy.
a legally distinct Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, it's like Yeah, I forget what the line was called. I tried to figure it out, but yeah, it has buttons that make sounds, and the gun shoots gun things, and you can
That's
throw
cool.
shit in it. Probably keep your
It's
drugs
not
in
the
there if you want.
Millennium Falcon, it's the Eon Eagle.
Oh, brother.
I really liked seeing all the Mandalorians fight that big dinosaur turtle crocodile thing.
You like how it gets exploded into a
Bowser?
million pieces right at the beginning of the show? It's like, oh my god, they're really going for it with this crocodile.
That what they blew it up and the guts went everywhere.
Did you think that was Mandalorian? Whatever his name is,
Din
Din
Djarin?
Djarin?
At-
I thought that was supposed to be like a flashback thing.
At first I did, but then they showed the kid's face and I was like, nah, that's a white kid.
Oh, I don't see color.
Oh, shut up. I thought it was a flashback until I noticed it was a little white and that Tar Vizsla was there, who is Jon Favreau's character in The Mandalorian.
The big dude.
Yeah, the big guy with like the gun. Because he
Yeah, I
is.
like that guy.
When I saw that guy, I was like, okay, I
That's
know
Jon
that guy.
Favreau.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
because he is a descendant of Jon Favreau's character from the animated show. He played the original holder of the Darksaber, who gets beheaded by Darth Maul. And he's hanging out with
Excellent.
he's hanging out with Katie Sackhoff's character.
Oh yeah, she was on the show.
She was. And I like that she just showed up and was like, you stole my Darksaber and now I don't want to do it. I'm not going to help you anymore. And I'm like, I feel like you are going to help Katie Sackhoff because, like, you're here. But also, who sits on a chair like that? Nobody.
She sat like that. You know, she did it on purpose. Like, oh, here comes the other Boba Fett guy. I'm 100% gonna make a statement by lounging on this chair that I have for nobody.
I really. What did you think of the dogfighting sequence? This is the first like space battle that we've seen in Mandalorian.
I liked it.
too.
I did not like the look of the pirate swamp thing guy.
You didn't like the Swamp Thing Pirate King?
No, I thought they just basically used the whatever you call it, like from Pirates of the Caribbean, like the
Davy
dead-
Jones?
Davy Jones or whatever. I think he kind of just looked like that. It's like ugh,
I think
looks
you
like
gotta rewatch.
seaweed.
I like Swamp
fantastic.
Thing Pirate King.
He was so the main pirate from the animated stuff is this guy called Hondo Anaka, who
Right.
Hondo.
the pirates we see earlier in the episode before they get involved in the dogfight are kind of wearing his colors and stuff. So I kept being like, oh my god, it's gonna be Hondo because I know he's alive because I've been to Galaxy's Edge and that happens after this.
Oh, spoilers! You got your own spoilers.
I know I went to a theme park and it spoiled Star Wars for me.
Making robots getting spoiled.
But then when they said whatever his name was, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be Hondo. Oh no! And then I saw
Maybe
he
he
was
works for Hondo.
no, because I don't think a king works for anybody.
Okay,
His
that guy's a.
his name is Gorian Shard.
Gorian Shard. When I saw
I found it by googling Swamp Thing Pirate King Mandalorian. So thank you, Dave.
When I saw he was a Swamp Thing, I was so excited. I was like, because a big complaint, and I liked Andor a lot. I really loved Andor.
Yeah,
But a big complaint, it was just all humans.
that's true.
Where were the aliens?
No Swamp Things.
No Swamp.
And
Not
there were some robots. There were
Nar-
robots.
nary a Swamp Thing to be found, Daniel.
Disappointing.
And in this, there was like, hey, aliens everywhere.
Mhm.
And then I was like, we're not gonna get too silly with it. And then there was a Swamp Thing. Rob, I've seen all the animated stuff. They've never had a Swamp Thing before, and I'm so excited for this goddamn. I want him to get his own book of Daniel. What was his name again?
Gorian Shard.
Barnacle
Yeah,
Joe.
I want the sea shanties of Dorian
Oh,
Shard.
okay. I would be up for the sea shanties.
Yeah,
If they had a little bit where they're getting hammered or whatever and singing
but you
songs
hate
about
singing.
bow-legged women. I hate when the whole goddamn character, that's all he does. The occasional song, if it's a sea shanty, pretty fun.
I was so excited about him being a Swamp Thing. I also really love to get away from that. I love
Yep.
the running joke that Baby Yoda wants to eat anything that's smaller than him. When he goes to the when they
Those
go
Baba
to
freaks or whatever.
Yeah,
Babu freak.
the Anzellans, yeah. I love that he's like, I'm picking you up. They're like, no, bad baby.
I like those guys.
I also really like Carl Weathers
Mhm.
translating the English words for Mando.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's what he
like,
sounded like Chubb to me. That's when I was like, oh, I've seen this guy on Happy Gilmore. That is 100%
no
Chubb.
work. He says it doesn't work. It's like, yeah, I got it. No fix. He says he can't fix it. It's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
What do you want to see this season? Anything?
What do I want to? What do I want to? Oh. What do you
Dan
think?
apparently
that,
has seen something exciting on his
Swamp Thing is the
Oh,
butler from Artemis Fowl.
phone. Yeah, he's Darren
that is.
Zoxos from Karth, also.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was getting to the Game of Thrones credit, but he's in a bunch of different things that are recognizable. He's
Yeah.
in Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh, he's great.
Which one is he on Ted Lasso?
He is.
He's in an episode of Doctor Who.
Everybody
He's the prince from a far off country.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he just does a voice. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's fantastic. I really love him. So good.
But yes, I didn't know that that dude from Game of Thrones was also Butler either. Like I watched Artemis Fowl. I hated every minute of it, but
good book, bad movie.
Oh.
Hmm?
To be fair, though, to go back to the show,
Yeah.
I don't know what what I'm supposed to expect or anything like that. I don't know anything else other than the Star Wars that I've already watched, and then I read the Shadow of the Empire books, and there's probably nothing to do with that. In here, so. Ooh. Well, I don't think Chewbacca's gonna get killed by a moon.
No, I don't think Chewbacca's gonna get killed. By a
Spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for a thing that's not canon.
For a dead book.
it would be funny if they killed him with a moon, completely ruining their current canon
Saving
as well.
Han and Leah's twins, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Then maybe. What did you think about the space whales, Rob?
Space whales. Oh my
Did you not
God.
see the space whales?
No.
When
I
they're
don't remember.
when they're going through hyperspace and Baby Yoda's like, oh.
Oh, yeah, no.
Those.
No,
Rob,
I thought it was one thing. I'm like, whenever I see the spaceship or whatever, the Mandalorian's new spaceship, the thing that gets me most excited is that it has an actual engine sound.
yeah,
Like when it fires up, it sounds like an engine.
I really like that too.
I'm
When he was
excited about
leaving, it
Yeah.
sounds like it sounds like my my buddy's stepdad's car that is always right about to break down. But Rob, the space to go back, the space whales
Oh boy.
will be very important because they are heavily tied into a certain blue character.
Oh, are they?
They're very involved with that.
Well, I
in
know about
Rebels.
the one lady. He might be showing up in the one lady show. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's her name.
Uh,
I was like, I know her face. But
I
couldn't
was just
remember
like,
her name.
what is happening right now?
Rosario Dawson.
Right? Yeah, I knew her.
Yeah,
But I was trying to-
her show's coming out later this year. I'm very excited.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well,
it's
not so
they.
much.
In
I thought they were going to start spacing it out. I heard that they're going to say, okay,
That's
we're
Marvel
doing too much
because they did a bunch of bad shows in a row.
bad shows. I like Miss Marvel,
Yeah, so did I. But
and
you
I
know,
like She-Hulk.
Yeah, but like it wasn't great. Like I think She-Hulk, if it hadn't come out,
I liked it better. I liked it better than Hawkeye.
I think that's
There.
that's not wrong.
There.
That's
I think like the biggest issue they had was just they had never made television like that before,
yeah.
and like they had to learn somewhere. And like, look,
I
I
think
wouldn't even consider Iron
thought
Man,
they-
all that great a movie, and it's the
Oh,
best one
Daniel,
in that
you just
first
got out
phase.
of
Yeah.
Disney prison.
Listen,
You
yeah,
just
listen.
got out
I
of Disney
Listen.
prison.
For goodness sakes, self-preservation, man, self-preservation. I will say they had a pretty good blueprint if they would have just followed the Netflix style stuff. They didn't.
Well, they can't.
They went their own way, which is fine. Which is fine because not all of the Netflix stuff was very good.
Yeah, I mean,
Iron Fist.
Netflix
But
did
then they
make
have
the Iron Fist show and
Jessica
like
Jones.
everything, but
Jessica Jones is
like-
the best thing that Netflix did.
It's awesome.
and
Season 1.
even season 2 does
Purple
fall
Man.
off a little bit in
The
that,
Purple
and
Man.
like Daredevil's great for most of it, if not all.
Eh.
Punisher
They
is
announced
Punisher
today.
is kind of lame.
Then what?
Whoa.
They announced today that Bernthal is going to be back as the Punisher in.
Oh, did they?
In the thing in the Sin City thing? Yeah,
Mm.
In the
Bernthal's
city
going to be
thing.
there. Yeah, it's not the Sin City. The what's the Born Again? Born Again.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. And then they already said D'Onofrio is going to be there. Obviously, he was already in the other show. But I also think they said that Foggy, the Foggy won't be in it,
And neither
and
will Karen.
neither will Karen.
Yeah.
At least not those actors.
Which is upsetting. I like Deborah Ann Wool.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Born Again has a lot to do with Karen Page, but
Yeah, but they kind of already did the Born Again storyline, so I think it's just like it's in name alone. So,
well,
Yeah.
but Rob, just to come back to what we were talking about for a sec.
Yeah.
I know we're probably gonna wrap up in a minute.
it's a TV show.
Would you believe, Rob?
Yes, I would.
Not only is there's a third Star Wars show coming out this year.
what?
And there's and an animated.
Not another
show.
Obi-Wan. Not another Obi-Wan, right?
No, no, it's the Jude Law Skeleton Crew show.
What's that?
I don't actually know. Nobody has
good.
talked about it, but it's coming
Is
out.
it a live-action show or is it the
It is.
cartoon show?
It
Oh,
is.
really?
Yep, it's another live action show. I think it's about like Jude Law is trying to like survive. It's directed by the Spider-Man Homecoming guy.
Oh, okay. The
So
guy that was also supposed to do Fantastic Four. At one
Yeah,
point.
I think it's like Padawans of Order 66 who survived.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Oh,
Like
okay.
Grogu.
kind of like Grogu, yeah.
And like what's its face from
So they're gonna
Estes.
be baby. So
From
they're
the
gonna
video
have
game.
One show's gonna have Baby Yoda. The other one's gonna have Baby Greedo.
Would you
What's-
believe, Rob, there is a youngling character in the Clone Wars who is that Rodian?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
the
I knew
video
that one
game I'm
was-
thinking
one
of?
was-
You're
one was
thinking of
little
Fallen
Darth
Order,
Vader's
and it's
friend.
Cal Kestis.
Yeah,
Little Darth Vader's friend was a Greedo. I know that. His
No,
buddy
that actually,
was helping him.
Rob, I'm gonna blow your
Yeah.
mind right now. Deleted scene. That is Greedo.
I don't like you.
There's a deleted
What?
scene
Just-
where they
It's
call him
not just
Greedo.
any Greedo.
Oh my God.
it's-
So that's how Greedo ends up.
That's all. That whole crew is like those bad kids. Like one's Darth Vader, one's Greedo.
That's what you get for calling people wizard all the time. That's so wizard.
Remember when in Book of Boba Fett where Mando was like, "That was wizard."
Oh my God.
Also, did you catch the Star Wars reference in our title?
I did not see the title.
Now this is March Madness, instead of now this is Pod Racing.
Excellent.
But yeah, there are three Star Wars. There's three Star Wars live action shows and another Star Wars Visions coming out this year.
Okay,
Oh,
Visions
shit.
is not the one that I saw. I saw the other cartoon show.
Yeah, no, Visions is the
Jedi dudes or whatever.
You saw
it's called.
Tales of the Jedi. No, Star Wars Visions is the
That's one where different cartoonists like
That
have
was-
their own thing
yeah,
on it, right? Take their
season
own-
1 was
tales.
all anime,
Mhm.
but this time they like opened it up to like a Polish studio's doing one. The Wallace and Gromit guys are doing one.
Okay,
So
here's
Oh.
a cool little piece
the
of
guys that did
breaking
the
news.
Russian version of Itchy and Scratchy. I wish they would do their own version of it.
yeah, Dan's got breaking news.
Yeah, late
Worker
breaking
and
news because I just remembered
whatever
this
thing
like 7 seconds ago.
Uh-oh.
It had something to do with the cross between pod racing and March Madness, which led me down a basketball tangent, which led me to hockey because I don't know anything about basketball.
Sure.
And then I remembered that next week, they're doing a cartoon NHL game.
What?
What?
Yes, ESPN and the Disney Channel are teaming up to bring fans the NHL Big City Greens Classic, the first ever live animated NHL game telecast featuring the Washington Capitals and New York Rangers. Next week, 7
What?
p.m.
Oh my god.
Yes. And I actually had heard about this a couple weeks ago and had meant to bring it up on the show.
Oh my
and
God.
It just slipped my mind until this very instant. And it's next
Wow.
week, so I needed to make sure I mentioned it.
Wow.
An
Yeah, it
animated
seems really
live
interesting.
hockey game. How the hell are they going to do that?
I don't know.
I'm so interested. I'm gonna have to set it in the background while we record this show next week.
Yeah.
Is it next month? Is it next Tuesday they're doing it?
7 Eastern, yeah. March 14th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really wild stuff. And I've actually never seen Big City Greens, but I ironically know multiple people who work on the show and follow their content.
What's a big city green?
I don't know.
It's a Disney
Okay, good.
cartoon
Okay.
thing. Yeah. I believe it's akin to, it might not be Dora level, it might be for slightly older kids, but it's not for teenagers.
Gotcha.
So they're not gonna
Yeah.
mic up the players then, is that what you're saying?
Probably not.
Probably for the best. Probably for the best. Big City Greens.
Huh.
Oh, I'm seeing them now. They must save money for not animating any noses on these guys. None of these guys have noses. Bananas. All right.
Holy shit, Wednesday's in Big City Greens.
Ooh.
Jenna Ortega voices a character.
Huh.
Yeah, the more
Huh.
you know. Anyway, that's about all I got for news and such, so.
Very good. Well, what a fantastic episode we had. A little laugh, a bit
Yeah.
of cry.
Yeah.
I got
Kinda
angry at both of you. Furiously angry.
I got angry at Blockbuster.
Yes.
Are you ever not angry at Blockbuster?
And how dare you? You shouldn't be angry at Blockbuster. It made all your dreams come true. 10 episodes of quality stream television for you.
How dare you?
Uh,
I hated it. But I
Yeah,
hated
yeah.
How I Met Your Father more. If that makes sense. Can't wait
So,
for some
we-
animated hockey the way it was meant to be played. They
we
should have
got
the
some
Leafs. They
plugs.
should do the Leafs like that so they can actually win a cup sometime. Just animate the whole story about the Leafs. Bastards. Do we have plugs? Do we ever? Wait,
do we ever have plugs?
I got a couple plugs. I'm actually started doing a hockey show over on the Let's Get Ready Network called Playoff Beards. Just kind of had the one episode in so far. Maybe do another one, possibly two before playoffs actually start. But it's Playoff Beards for a reason, because it takes place. We talk about the playoffs in the NHL. Also, still doing starting 11 for all your English Premier League talking needs. Chelsea, my Chelsea, big win today in the Champions League. We won't be covering that, guys. But so glad to see we win 2 in a row like a regular goddamn club again. And other than that, well, I'm right back here. Hopefully next week, maybe people have caught up to watching television programs that we can all talk about at the same time. But I doubt it. Also,
Doubt it.
watching Star Trek Picard, interesting. I won't say if I like it or not yet. We'll find out if we ever talk about it. How about you, Dave?
You can find me right here every Tuesday talking television. Yeah. But also, you can find me talking different television over on Multiverse of Geekdom every Monday, where me and Jedi Master Tuck talk about Lost. You know, we are getting close to that season finale. We are on Born to Run is next week. Will be our next episode. The final Kate Austin flashback of season 1. And the episode with that dumbass little plane, but also the introduction of fan favorite character, and only fan favorite because he sucks so much, Leslie Arst.
Arst.
Really, really excited to get, and then we're right into the season 1 finale. So really firing on all cylinders right now. Go over there, check out Multiverse of Geekdom every Monday, and then they've got a bunch of other good stuff. But I'll let them plug that themselves.
Wow.
All right.
Pretty hardcore.
And
Pretty hardcore.
I do not do any of those shows. I will probably bug Rob to be on a hockey podcast at some point. That sounds like fun.
Sure.
But maybe hopefully my team actually makes the playoffs. So
I predicted that they would. I did predict that they would make it.
I'm
On a tear.
surprised. I'm surprised. And I've been watching them for a while now, but it's actually good to like have some optimism since the last 6 years have been garbage. How do you feel, Dave? How's
Preach.
Adina doing?
It's tough. It's so hard being a Detroit fan.
How frigging dare you, sir?
Well, I actually understand what he's saying and kind of agree because like Detroit is supposed to be an intelligent franchise.
And we
So
were!
when it's not run right, it's worse.
We had like 15 years of really good stuff. And then I feel like we've been rebuilding for the last 15 years.
Good news is you guys went and spent a whole bunch of money on Andrew Kopp. That's pretty good.
Don't talk to me about it. Don't even talk to me about it. I'm just...
Hey, you could have traded just a couple of picks and got a Jacob Chikrin.
I understand we all have things that hurt, but like, you know what? We're talking about Blockbuster and how much my team sucks. Like, this is not a good day for me, guys.
This is a
Honestly, for the
down on
longest
Dave
time,
Day.
like I had this idea to like start a hockey podcast, and one of my first I actually wanted to have Soda on as my first guest at one point, and like the title of the episode was just going to be like, well, sometimes your team sucks. And it's because like both Ottawa and Vancouver were supposed to take steps 2 fucking years ago, but it's taken so long. And it's like, well, sometimes the optimism's there and then the team sucks.
Yep.
And yeah, it gets better. And hopefully my frickin' mouth gets better, because sitting here talking for an hour and a half was not fun, actually.
Ambisol, buddy. Ambisol.
Yeah. I've got a lot of different medications to help, so. But that'll about do it for us, right?
That's
Yep.
it.
All right. So we'll see. How many times have you changed your name today, Rob?
We gotta end the show, guys.
Yeah, that's it. So for my and for Dave, have a good night, and we'll see you next week.